So guys, let's make this beautiful shift kaftan gown. You can also call it kimono gown or bubu gown. It's a gown that every one of us knows how to make, but in case you haven't come across this type of style, just stay tuned and keep watching, okay? You will love it. It's just a short gown. Now I am making use of 3 yards of Ankara fabric for this, and I have gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4. I'll be cutting the back and the front. Now this starting point, I'm going to place my tape to get my shoulder, divide by 2 8, and went ahead again to get my sleeve length 8 inches. My shoulder divide by 2 8, and I went ahead to get my sleeve length 8 inches, and that is 16 inches. Now from the shoulder I will get my waist 16. I will mark, and the length I'm working with is 38 plus 2 inches for the hemming allowance is going to be 40. I'll place my tape to get the 40 inches. Yeah, so after getting the length of this gown, I'm going to mark it across. I'll rule all the lines. So from this shoulder, I'm going to get the length of my sleeve opening, which is 10. I've marked it there. Now the neck width I'm working with is 3.5 inches. Then the depth is going to be 1.5. Remember that I folded this fabric into 2. So this 1.5 is going to be for the back, but the width will just remain the same. Now I'm going to place my tape and get my hip line 25. I will mark. So that is will be the measurement that we needed: the waist, the hip, and the length of this gown. So I'm going to put my hip measurement on the hip line, divide by 4, and I'm going to go ahead and add extra um 4 inches allowance. 4 inches allowance. So from this, I'm going to connect all the lines. So whatever I have on this hip measurement, I'm going to put it on the waistline, then connect the lines like so. Whatever I have on the hip, that is what I'm going to put on the waist, and I'll connect it from the waist down to the hip and to the hemming of this gown. So I went ahead and add extra half inches. It's going to be 4.5 inches. You can add as any inches you want, if you want it to be very free. Okay, so this is going to be all for this. Now on the shoulder line, I'm going to come down with 1.5 inches and connect my shoulder slope like so. So this is just all about cutting of kimono gown or shift kaftan gown. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. You can see that it's very easy. So on this sleeve length, I came down with 10 inches. So depending how wide you want your sleeve opening to be, you can come down with 12, 11, depending how open you want your sleeve to be. Okay, now after I'm done with the cutting, I'm going to separate the back from the front, because this front has one design on it. So I'm going to be separating the front from the back, keeping the back aside. So I'm going to be working on the front now, just trying to arrange it. Now after arranging it, I'm going to place my tape like this. Remember that I deducted 1.5 inches for the main neck for the back. So I marked 7 inches here for the front. Now I'm going to place my tape like this and mark 2 inches inward, like on the length of the um depth. Go in with 2 inches and mark. So I have 7 for the depth. Then on the length of that 7 inches, I came in with 2 inches. So I'm going to connect it like this. After connecting it, it's going to be looking like this. That is the style of that design you saw on the front of this gown. So this is how to cut it. Now it is done. You can see how the neck is looking. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it to my sewing machine. I have gone ahead to join the back and front shoulder together. I'm going to go ahead and measure the neck circumference. And you know that I am making use of ashoke for this my design. You can use any plain fabric of your choice. So I'll measure the neck circumference. That is the front and the back neck. I'll measure it round. Whatever it gives me is what I'm going to use to cut out my ashoke for the neck design. Now I have my ashoke here, and I have about length. The wideness is about 4 inches, and when you fold it up, it's going to be 2 inches. Then the length of the neck circumference I'm working with is up to 27, but I've gone ahead to add 29.5. So you can go ahead and add extra so that you will not run out of this fabric while attaching it on the neck. Okay, so any excess you're going to trim it out. Now on this neckline, the place I went in with 2 inches, I'm going to notch inward with about 0.7 inches, or sorry, 0.5 inches. So I will notch. The reason for this is because to enable this ashoke to relax on the front neckline. So I'm going to pin my ashoke like this, and I just fold up that 4 inches of ashoke by 2. It will be giving me 2 inches. Now I folded it up and I begin to pin it on that neck circumference. After that, I will stitch it. You can see that I'm stitching it on my machine. I'll continue stitching it. So while stitching, please stitch it gently, right? You can make use of your pin to secure it. Now guys, I am done attaching the ashoke on this neckline, and you can see that I have about 1 inch allowance on that neckline. So I stopped at the place I notched inside. Okay, so now for me to secure this place I came in with 2 inches on this neckline, I'm going to first of all top stitch the neckline. I'll be top stitching it like so for the neckline to relax very well. After top stitching it, on this down part here where I notch 0.5 inches, I'm going to be flipping it inside, flipping it on the back, flipping the ashoke, placing it like so. So that 1/2 inch I notch will help me to relax this ashoke. I'll be placing this ashoke on top of the 1/2 inch I notch inside. Now I'm going to use my pin to secure it, and I'm going to run a stitch on it. On the back, I'm making this on the back, just flip the ashoke and the 1/2 inch inward, so it's going to come out on the back of the fabric. Then I will use my pin and secure, then stitch it up. When I turn it up, it's going to be looking like this. After turning it up, it's going to be looking beautiful like this. You can see how beautiful it's looking. Okay, so I have secured this part, looking very beautiful. Now I'm going to be working on the last design. I just cut out my ashoke, and I have the wideness of um about 9.5 inches for the wideness. So I have 9.5 inches for the wideness, and the length is um 12 inches. Sorry, the wideness is 12 inches while the length is 9.5 inches. So I'm going to get the midpoint of this neckline and mark. I'll get the center of this neck here on the down part. I'll mark. Then I'm going to get the center of this ashoke. You can see the center there. I'll place the center on the center of the neckline. So now guys, this rough edge of this ashoke, I've went ahead and fold it in. Okay, I folded it, I hem it. Now I'm going to be folding the down part like this. So I don't have any specific measurement for this. I just folded it inward like this. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it up. After pinning, I'll take it to my sewing machine and run a stitch on it. Remember that I hemmed this ashoke. So after running a stitch, I'm going to go ahead and shape it and show us the final look of this. That's come to the end of this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please just don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share. Okay, see you on the next tutorial. Bye for now.